Cool.
Yo, the Manny Baptista talk show with.
Shayki Kuptchik.
There you go.
Hell yeah. Gotta love it.
How you doing, Shayki?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah,
Long day. You hear me well?
dude, I hear you great.
Okay, cool.
So, me and Shayki just met at his new frat,
Hell yeah.
and we were just like, "Yo, let's do a podcast." Down right now, it's like 10 o'clock at night right now.
It is.
It's podcast hour.
Hell
if
yeah.
anything,
Sad boy hours.
sad boy hours.
Yeah.
You're not a sad boy, are you?
I'm not a sad boy.
No, you're not.
Never.
Dude, so tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your hobby? What's your favorite hobby?
So, well, my name is Shayki, obviously. My favorite hobby. I have a lot of hobbies.
Yeah.
Really into history. Little,
Yeah. You were telling me about you just watch YouTube videos on history all day.
all day.
Me too.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm into it. Who do you follow?
So, there's like history with Hilbert. There's a few other has to come to mind, but I was always passionate about history, like ever since I was young, like 5 years old. I was always in like military channel.
Yeah. History Channel was pretty fun too, even though when we got older it became a little
fucking
like Pawn Stars.
ancient. Can I swear in this?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
If you want. Like,
Yeah, cool. Like I know that now it's like ancient aliens and like Pawn Stars and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
like from the get-go, like I was 5 years old. I remember actually it was like the 2008 election, and like I did not know anything about politics at the time.
Right.
But it was Barack Obama versus John McCain, and I
Mhm.
knew that John McCain was like a POW, like war hero, and for some reason, like my parents do not care about politics whatsoever.
Me fucking neither.
like
I
my-
don't fucking care. Dude.
My mother's a freaking so she's a Canadian. She's on green card out here.
Mhm.
So like obviously not really involved in politics. My father's Israeli. He's a citizen out here, but you know, he cares more about Israeli politics than American politics.
Yeah.
So but for some reason, the fact like, you know, John McCain, freaking war hero, like that sparked something in my head
Yeah.
from the get-go.
John McCain changed your life.
Oh, he changed my life. Like
Dude, what got you about John McCain? His looks, dude.
Well, he was a really old man, but you know, I did not know any of his policies or whatever. Like, but I don't know.
I don't even really know who it is. I'm like your parents when it comes to politics.
Right.
I just think it's all kind of funny. Like if
it
like
is.
the aliens came down and were like, "Yo, how does your government work?" We'd be like, "Well, there's a president, and then there's like a 13 Congress." Like I can't even explain it. Dude.
Totally.
I'm a
No,
dummy.
From the get-go, like honestly now, looking at it as a 21-year-old, you know, like try to stay relatively apolitical. Like try to stay like politically informed.
Yeah.
But it's all bullshit.
Dude, yeah,
It's all
fucking bullshit. Dude.
Like I have to, you know, like sometimes because like I'm in the military, so like
yeah.
being in uniform, you kind of have to stay like apolitical. Like there's a lot of super opinionated people,
Totally. Yeah.
in the military especially, but like regardless, like you know, like now I just look at it like with a grain. Like I can see both sides of the penny for like everything, but like I try to see it like with like rationality in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think when people like get really attached to like politics, they don't really care about the actual problem. They care about like pleasing others around them a little bit
exactly.
at the same time.
Exactly. Like where did you grow up? Where did whatever? Like if you're surrounded by people who are like super conservative, super like pro Trump, I see
you're
that
not even really thinking about like the issue
right
itself. You're just thinking about like that's why I think, dude, I'm politically homeless. I don't really I've never really cared about politics. I just think it's like not a big joke, but I think
totally.
if you want to be president of the United States, then you probably shouldn't be president of the
you know, honestly, like I'll be real with you. There were times when I was younger, I was like, I really want to be president, but I was like, I would be the perfect candidate to get assassinated.
Oh,
because
I would vote for you.
Okay,
man.
number one, Bobby
for Shayki.
You know Bobby Kennedy, JFK's brother.
Yeah.
So he was killed by an Arab who was apparently Bobby Kennedy was super pro-Israel, and obviously with the entire conflict, which like I know that probably people watching this could have like differing opinions. So like I don't want to get super
Totally, yeah.
like one way or the other, but he was killed because he was pro-Israel. So me being the son of an Israeli person and being Israeli myself, that would be.
Mhm.
And also I was born in Canada, but which might disqualify me, depends. But yeah,
Dude, you're Canadian.
I
That's
am
my second
Canadian.
favorite country.
I was born in Montreal, Quebec.
Yeah.
My mother's a French Canadian. Grew up, surrounded by all that.
Dude,
It was
it's
great.
a great country, man.
It's I wanna
Dude.
say it's different because there's a lot about Canada that's similar to America,
Mhm.
but if you have you ever been to French Canada?
To Quebec?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's kind of a culture shock if you've never I could see why people I've lived in French Canada before, but, I know when I bring my friends that, have never been there,
Mhm.
it's a complete, different world.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Canada's pretty cool, man.
Canada is
I mean, really, if you look at a map without borders, who knows?
r
Canada is the US. Like, the
Oh,
northern
totally.
US is Canada.
So, I remember, obviously, after 9/11.
It's weird that we, think about the world in these, blocks when really,
Right.
the world just looks like
Oh, it's
animals aren't like, "Yo, I'm going into Russia to
you
migrate,"
you know
or
what's a funny
whatever.
thing though that I was thinking about today because I went to this I think it's called it's called Frog. It's the Franco-American, the French American club
Mhm.
at UMaine, and we had to do icebreakers about random facts that don't matter. And I said that apes actually get into their own armies and declare war on other apes and
That's
fight each other to the death. Like they're super territorial.
yeah.
It's
So are ravens, dude. There's a lot of animals that are like that, but
oh hell
we're
yeah.
animals.
Well, no, we are animals. We are intellectual animals, but
It's hard to say with saying intellectual animals. I I kind of think that it's hard to measure intelligence.
oh, it is. And honestly, like I know entire thing about the IQ test and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Like it scales it kind of on a European centric or an American hell yeah
Fuck yeah.
type scale. But there's hell yeah. There's so
Dude, this
many.
bottle makes us look small.
I'm already small. I'm not that small,
Yeah.
but
It's like a bigger bottle.
right. You gotta downplay yourself. So
Yeah, yeah.
when you actually impress
And
people,
when
it's
it's average, they're like, "That's bigger than I thought."
yeah, yeah.
You're
It's
like,
when people are
"That's what matters. Bigger than you thought, dude."
exactly. It's when people are like, "How tall are you?" I'm like 6 feet, and they're like, "Stand up," and they're like, "Oh shit, you're actually 6 feet." It's not like it matters, but
True.
it does not matter. Like I know, when I was in high school, I went to a really small high school. We all, um, I played every sport that my high school offered
Yep.
because grew up in Madawaska, small, really small town, not much to do. So if you're not, you know, if you're not doing sports, what are you doing? I'm not trying to downplay people that don't play sports, but
No, no,
they're
no.
there's
Dude, that goes for I think sports teach you a lot of lessons in life.
oh hell
That's
yeah.
that's true. And coming from a small town myself too, I mean, dude, I remember we sometimes would show up to games and we wouldn't even have enough people to play the game and would be like, "You lose, but do you still want to play?" Like one
So
person down and
that
we're like, "Yeah,
happened.
I guess."
That happened one game. It was my sophomore year of high school. We
Yeah.
were playing Limestone. So Limestone, I don't even know if they have a school anymore.
Yeah.
But it was a baseball game, and we only had 9 people. You need 9 people, for a baseball team. And I fucking sucked at baseball. So I was right field, wasn't that great. So, but I was having really just decent game. I had a single and a double that game.
Oh,
At I hit the ball and the ball goes straight up, hits me right in the nose. I break my nose. Blood's going all over the place.
oh my
And
god.
they didn't let me play for the rest of the game because they're like, you have to go on the
And you're one man
concussion.
down.
Right. So there's no one in the right field. It's 2 people in the outfield, which it's not right field really matters anyways. You're just staring friggin' picking weeds. I'd go to the store before the games and I'd get that the beef dip, Like, it's like an alternative for,
They're
like,
like
tobacco
smoking
chew.
cigarettes in right field, like
Right.
no balls coming
Oh,
their
hell
way.
yeah, dude. If I were of age at the time, I would be I would totally go and buy some cigarettes and
Smoke
just
some.
rip them. Like,
You probably could in Canada in high school.
oh, and can't well, I was in Maine, so
Yeah.
it was in Canada. You know what they say about the drinking age?
'19.
It's just a
Oh
suggestion.
yeah.
So,
It's
yeah,
kind of
so,
like
like,
that here too.
I was on the bench. I was disappointed, like, because we were actually winning at the time, but, like, after, like, losing the game, it was, like, the last game of the season, like, I was like, now I had a broken nose. It was all good. It was all fun and games, and, like, as I said, I wasn't, like, the best athlete at every sport, but the fact that I played every sport, like, it got my name out there. So it was
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, and, like, especially having, like, such, a unique name as, like, I did, like, it came with, like, a
Shayki
yeah,
and Manny's the same way. I
right.
agree with
So
that.
my legal name is Yeshayahu Yaakov Kupchik, which a little background behind that. So, like, obviously, my father's Israeli, but, before I moved to Maine, and for a little bit when we were in Maine, we were Orthodox, Jews. So, like, the Jews with, like, the curly sideburns and stuff like that, and the black suits and stuff like that. So, like, I lived in that community. So, totally different world, like, if you ever go to Northern Maine, you see, like, the Amish, like, riding in, like, the horses and buggies, like, it's not the same thing, but, like, it's kinda, like, in a way, kinda similar to that, in a way. And,
Yeah.
like, I have all respect in the world, like, I have family that's still that, and, like, I go visit them and stuff, but, like, you know, it's a totally different world, but when I moved here, having a name like that, especially living in such a homogenous, like, where I grew up, everyone had French last names, which I am French Canadian, but, like, I stuck out like a sore thumb. Like, for if anything, they were, like, viewing me like I was, like, a different breed of h like I was not human not human. Not literally, but, like, something like that.
Shayki's alien.
I I I wish I was alien.
Dude, what would you wanna know if you were alien?
I would I'd wanna know all the world's secrets. Like, all those conspiracy theories about how, like, the lizard people and stuff like that. Like, sometimes I like to joke and be like, "I'm a lizard person, I control the world."
Like the Geico guy?
Hell yeah, dude. Like, you wanna save 5% on car insurance, like, go to me. I can hook you up. It's like what's funny is that, like, being in the military, there's a lot, like, military discounts and stuff like that, so I'm like I tell my friends, I'm like, "Dude, you want a discount? Like, just come to me." Like,
The
um
gecko's got your backs in the military.
oh, exactly, like, okay, so, like, for example, there's this, thing called, the military BX. It's, the base exchange or something like that, yeah. So, there, it's tax-free. So, and it's basically like a big liquor store. So, I go there, I'm, like, getting, like, 30 racks of beer for $20, so, like, I'm, like feel like I'm saving so much, but then, like, going to the store every week, buying another 30 rack,
Yeah.
it's definitely a unnecessary expense.
Yeah.
It's a fun expense, but it's an unnecessary one.
Yeah. How are you with spending money?
Why am I spending money? So, it was interesting because up until this year, I was working full time. Pretty much the moment I graduated from high school, I was working full time. I was working up in Northern Maine, did, like, the potato farms, did, like, I was working at a restaurant, and then, after, because I enlisted in the military, I was waiting to go to my boot camp. My father owns a lock and security business in Manhattan, so I went to go work for him for a few months, so that was pretty unique, but then, like, I was working full time out on the base, doing all that, um, and I had being a at the time, was just 19 years old and making a good amount of money. I was buying so much, like, stupid stuff, like, like, new video games.
And I feel like it's kind of culture in the military to like first paycheck get a pimpin' car.
Oh, yeah, they get that,
And
like,
then
dog charger with, like, 25% APR.
yeah,
Well, I'm leasing my Hyundai Sonata, so,
yeah.
like, I guess, like, that's financially smart because I'm only spending $200 a month on that, but I'm way over mileage. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to buy that at one point or another, which
Yeah,
like it's not gonna be too much of a big deal, but
it's something.
it's something. But for now, like I spend a lot of time at OHOP. My
That's your 30 rack a week.
give or take, and it's not
Probably
just me.
more.
It's just not me drinking the 30 rack. Like I have my friends over that like we'll go to OHOP before.
Mhm.
I'll buy the beer. We'll drink the beer, and then we'll go.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Go to other places. But for me, I don't eat a lot of food, which it's unfortunate. But this is like I don't eat when I'm hungry. Like some people when they're hungry, they just like binge eat. But like I don't do that. So like I don't spend like a whole lot, but still a decent amount.
Yeah, I don't really binge eat either. I feel that once you eat in your day, then you get hungry. Like I'll try to not eat as far as I can into the day, and I'll just not be hungry. But
Right.
then once you eat, then you're like you just want to snack the rest of the day.
Right, exactly. Like if you like sit down, you're like
Mhm.
watching Netflix or whatever, you like, you start like eating all the food, but like the best way to not binge eat is just not do groceries. So like like I'll get my bread, I'll get my like peanut butter and like the deli meat and stuff like that. But like one thing like I'd say if I had like a New Year's or actually it was just today is Rosh Hashanah's Jewish New Year's. So if I were to make a New Year's resolution for whatever year in the Jewish calendar it is, it would have to be, like stop eating out, eat more peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because or like at least like, just make like chicken and broccoli and stuff like that. Trying to, get back in the gym, do all that. I
I
actually went
gotta I gotta get back in the gym too. I actually went on a bike ride today at
really,
Piney Knoll. Have
really.
you ever been back there?
I've never. Is it like right back
Dude.
in Orono?
No, it's right behind here
No
and
shit.
Orchard Trails.
No shit.
Yeah, I hit this massive jump and wiped out.
Really?
Totally, it was so rainy. It just
Is
rained.
it a mountain bike that you have?
Yeah, it's a mountain bike.
Okay,
It
cool.
was just one that my friends
Mhm.
Frank has put together from a bunch of junk ones.
Right.
But it's pretty sweet.
So I did buy a new bike this year, and I went biking a few times, out like in the trails. I biked to Bangor. I've
Mhm.
biked to a few different places. I really want to get into it,
Me too.
but
I got a dirt bike, dude. That's
you have a dirt
fun.
bike?
Yeah,
Dude,
man.
everyone in Northern Maine, they have dirt bikes. They have, like I had, like, a snowmobile growing up and, like but it wasn't like one made for speed, it was more like a utility one because we go, like, ice fishing and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Have you
Ice fishing?
Yeah.
We're going.
Dude, we're going.
Me and Homebrew caught a huge brown trout last year.
Really?
Yeah, it was so fun.
I've
I have a ton of stuff.
I've never caught a brown trout before, but, like, brook trout, like, up in Northern Maine, yeah, in Eagle Lake, you could catch, brown trout, I think, but, like, lo I usually fish in Long Lake when I was doing ice fishing, and that's mostly, like, salmon,
Yeah, I've done the
brook
Allagash.
Really?
Are you near the Allagash?
So, I grew up about an hour away,
Mhm.
so
For people who don't know, that is a canoe trip. It was basically a canoe trip that was like 7 days.
really?
Yeah, and
Holy
we
shit.
canoed whatever, like 65
I would
miles.
totally do something like that, but
Dude, let's
honestly
do it.
okay, so the thing is that, like, obviously, when you go to boot camp, like, you don't have your phone, so, like, you kinda, like, lose it, but, like, the fact that we're so, like, dependent on phones now, it's kinda, like, incomprehensible to think that you're gonna go, like, a week without technology, without whatever,
Yeah.
because, like, we're so dependent on that stuff.
Mhm.
Like, the moment I do when I wake up is, like, go on my phone and reply to, like, text messages and shit
For
like that.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that
It's
is, like, designed. I It's so weird to think about that they have so many people working for, like, Google, Facebook, Apple, whatever, to design phones, how to get people to look at it, but nobody's, like, doing anything like, "Yo, maybe how do we say, like, spend a little bit more time, like, off of it? How do you get people
Right,
off of it for a little bit? Because
right.
everything's just being made so addicting,
Oh, totally.
like,
Yeah, and
in a really
it's specifically designed like that, like, like, it's basically a drug,
like, a
like
microscopic. They have every single thing planned out.
oh, yeah, like, they have it planned for years ahead, and, like, it's kinda screwed up to think about because, like, they're not gonna release like, all the technology they know, they wanna plan it out that, like, this year we're gonna release this because they want every single year to go. They want people to go and like spend $1,000 on a brand new phone that like basically does the same thing as the previous year, but has like one new thing, literally one
Yeah.
new thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like my phone, I got it last year and it's already kind of shitting the bed. Like there's pixels that are dying and stuff, but like I'm telling myself, dude, like I'm like, I do not want to get a new phone because like now that I'm not working, because like I'm just going to school full time, I'm living off the GI Bill, I'm living off my FAFSA grant, and like now it's like, do I really want to spend $1,000 on that? Like,
Not only spend $1,000 on your phone, the problem with phones is like now you need to have one.
yeah,
They
you
make it so you need to have one now. And it's too easy to communicate. But when you
mhm.
don't have one, you can literally think clearly. You don't have to
Oh,
always be
exactly,
like
exactly.
bored. You know how you get bored so fast without your phone? You're like, oh, I gotta fucking scroll Snapchat,
Oh, hell yeah.
scroll Instagram, whatever.
And
When you
honestly,
don't have it, you know how it is.
right,
You've
right,
not
right,
had it. You're like,
right.
just you're not constantly. The only thing you really need it for is music.
Oh, totally. And like, I'm serious. The only like infractions I had in terms of like discipline when I was in high school was
Yeah.
because my phone went off in class, and we had like a zero policy or a zero tolerance policy on like cell phone use because like you were not allowed to use cell phones when you were in school. And I wouldn't use it when I was in class, but like I got a Saturday detention my senior year of high school because my phone went off twice in class because I
What?
forgot to turn I had the iPhone that had the before they had like it was all screen, there was
Mhm.
like a button on the bottom, like
Yep.
iPhone 6,
iPhone
yeah,
5C.
iPhone 5C. I
Yep.
had the iPhone I forgot which one. It was the iPhone S, and I leaned my elbow on, the button, and it went off, and the teacher was like, "Give me your phone right now." I'm like, "Oh, shit," and this was the second time it happened, or the first time, it wasn't even my phone, it was my smartwatch because I had a Garmin watch because I was running cross
You were
country at
pimping.
I was pimping. It's a birthday gift actually, and that went off. So, and the teacher thought that it was my phone, so they took my phone. And the second time, it was because I leaned on the button and the Siri went off. And I'm sorry, I didn't get that. And then I get called to the principal's office, and they're like, "You have to go to a Saturday detention." I'm like, "Holy fuck!" Like I was a good student. I was vice president of student council my senior year. I was vice president of National Honor Society in my school. And the fact that I had to go to a Saturday detention, like I felt like that was the biggest like ego killer.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I was a goody two shoes when I wasn't a goody two shoes, but like I had good grades. Like I was like the model student in a way. So like having to go to a Saturday detention, it was like right before my varsity basketball game. I was so worried that I was gonna miss it. But then like I show up after, I'm like, yo, I just got out of the pen. Right to the bench.
Right to the
Right
bench
to the
on your
bench.
last one?
No, it wasn't my last one, but
It's still annoying.
it was, like
Dude, that's ridiculous. Dude, teachers, it's a
uh,
tough job.
it's all good. Like
That's a tough job,
I'm going to
dude.
school for secondary education, for like in a focus in social studies because as I said, like I love history.
Mhm.
And I was really trying to figure out when I was younger, I was like, what the hell do I want to do? So like at first I was like, do I want to do active duty military? And then I was a counselor at this summer camp called Boy State. And there's this one of the people, like the heads there, was telling me like, Shayki, like, don't go active duty military. Go get your college degree. So I was like, okay, like I'll go talk to the guard. And I talked to the guard, I enlisted in the guard. But after that, I was like, do I want to be like a lawyer? Because like, the stereotype of like Jewish families, like, it's like you're either
You
gonna be
wanna
a
be a lawyer?
doctor or a lawyer. So my sister just graduated from biomedical engineering school in New Jersey. And I think her plan is that she's gonna take a year or two off. She's working in this plastic surgery place in Colorado. Just went there. It's beautiful. Anyone listening to this, like go to Colorado. Like
Colorado is where it's at. It
that's
is
where the Mile
gorgeous.
High City, dude.
Denver.
Denver, it's known for its hiking. it's known for its weed if you smoke. I can't obviously military. Anyone here in the military, don't smoke weed. But, you know,
Dude, I want to try this effect out. The
do it,
other
do it, do it,
effect.
do it.
Let's do it.
What's up? Whoa, that shows us up.
Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, so I was saying.
Okay, sorry.
You're good. What I was saying is that, like, obviously, Colorado, beautiful place, but like she's like the embodiment of like that perfect child. So for me, like I was kind of having that like existential crisis where it was like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? So like I did like a few years like working full time for the military, and that was great. Like gave me a lot of life skills, taught me a lot of discipline. Got to work with like, a lot of different people. But then I was like, I don't think I want to do this for the rest of my life. I'm like, it's like security forces, military police. So like, scanning IDs, which like, hey, like it pays well, does all that, especially if you're like a 19, 20-year-old. If you want to enlist in the military, do it. Like, what other job is going to hire you right at 18 years old and like give you a full-time job?
A lot of them right now.
A lot of them right now, but
it's a lot.
minimum.
It's a lot of. You don't have to. You get time to think about what you want to do.
Exactly. But like,
if you do it right,
right.
Some people don't think it like straight to Dubai or whatever.
Right, like you're not gonna be making that, like that song that Arab Money. I think it's by I forgot who, but it's,
I'm just saying Dubai because I don't know, dude, who ended up doing that.
Oh hell yeah. So like a few years working for the military, I was like, I'm going to school in person because I was going to school online, and if anyone here does classes online, God bless you. It's easy, but it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Absolutely agreed.
Like, okay, easy to get like 15 credits knocked out in a semester, but like you're staring at a screen for hours and hours on end, and like I just can't do that. Like, when I was younger, I used to play a lot of video games when I was like probably like 12 or 13 years old. I was like in my friggin' basement, like knocking away on Call of Duty Black Ops 2, like getting that kill streak. Probably not. My KD was fucking horrible, but we I was going hard on that, but like now I cannot do that. I cannot just like stare in front of a computer all day. Like, respect anyone that does, but like,
yeah, I can't either, dude. Like cubicle life, I could not do that.
And like honestly,
I could not do cubicle life or living in a city or any of
like
that.
people that would like be
I'd
like
boil over.
People that are like, well, at least I'm getting paid well. Like, one big thing in me like thinking about what I want to do is like compare the quality of life that you're going to have compared to the money that you make. So like, let's say you make a lot of money, but you hate your job like to your fucking core. Like, what's the point? Like,
dude, then you're just living like a robot every day. Get up.
Right. You're from Freiburg, right?
Yeah.
So in Freiburg, do they have like a mill?
No, but they used to, and now they have a parts company.
Okay.
Called Dearborn.
So in Madawaska,
they got a paper mill, right?
Right. Madawaska, like the big thing is the paper mill. Like that's the primary employer of the most people that live in that town, or it's either the paper mill or like businesses that support the people that work in the paper mill. So the thing about that is that a lot of people will go there and work like 80 hours a week, like working as a millwright. And yeah, they can make six figures working 80 hours a week. But what time do you have left to do other stuff? And number one, is the stuff that you're actually doing, like, are you enjoying that? Or are you just enjoying the money that you're making?
And sometimes people don't even get to enjoy the money that they're making.
Right, because that's all going, dumb decisions when they're younger,
Or even cigarettes, dude.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Think about how much cigarettes cost.
Oh, exactly. You're smoking. How they say like drunk cigs don't count.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do. They add
up.
up.
They do. Especially,
especially when you're getting drunk all the time.
All you people in Orono, Maine, listening to this, going outside OHOP at like fucking 11:30 at night to go get your drunk smoking. You know how much that fucking pack of Newports cost? A lot of money.
Newports, that's the cheapest one.
It is, but it's still a lot of money. I mean, because a cigarette could come in handy, but at the same time, I mean, I say this, but like alcohol also costs a lot of money. If you get high on life, man, get
You'd
high
be
on life.
living.
Like I know so much people, like I have friends of mine that like smoke dope and you know, even that even that adds up, man. Like it's
Totally, dude. Over time, like weed, alcohol, anything that stimulates, like you just gotta spend time like sober and like with your brain
right. And we say that,
present.
smearing off like cheers to that,
I
but
know, like, dude, we should do a drunk pod. I haven't done a podcast where I've just gotten like trashed with the person. Like, I
dude,
don't have enough booze tonight, but
right.
we should plan one in the
Dude, we
future.
got it. We gotta because like I feel like once you get a few drinks with me, and I start saying stuff
Yeah.
like,
Also, we can be funny.
I
It's
try to
weird
be
that
funny sober, but I
I'm
feel
not
like
good
when
at
I'm
it.
like, if anyone listening to this like ever had a conversation with me at OHOP when I'm like a few deep, like I get pretty funny. Like
Yeah.
I apologize if I'm too funny, but you know, a little flirtatious, but a lot funny.
I think, dude, yeah, I think being funny is hard to do, and alcohol just makes things sillier.
Oh, it makes things
Everything's
a lot
like
sillier. But like,
it works so
you
perfectly
ever
with
like wake
humans.
up after you like drink and you're like, what the fuck did I say? Like
Oh yeah, dude. That dude,
that instant regret.
when like there's that one guy and everyone's
Right.
like, holy fuck,
Or that one guy in the
Sometimes,
corner.
or sometimes fucking you're that guy though.
Right.
Everyone's that guy.
Like, do you want to, like you go to OHOP and there's like this little like stage and
Yeah.
back, like the DJ is there and all
Mhm.
that. And then you got those people like they're hyping up the crowd. They're like boom, 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 boom. Like, I love that. I freaking love that. But sometimes like I'm going in the crowd, like I'm going to find some random person to talk to.
Yeah.
And like alcohol, it's great. But like one thing, like I was talking to you earlier, like my stepmother's a psychotherapist. Like she emphasizes a lot, like, why do you need alcohol to do that? Like, why can't you get to the point that you're gonna be your genuine self and you're just gonna be that great, like laid back person?
It's true, dude. That's something that fucking Gandhi said or something like
Really?
that. Or Gandhi, there's no alcohol in India.
I know like
Like,
India is obviously like a Hindu country, but there's like a really sizable like Muslim population.
oh really? Yeah. I didn't really know. But dude, it makes a lot of sense, dude. Like a lot of problems come from alcohol.
Right.
And if
Like
you just make it like not like really like you don't tolerate it,
totally.
then dude, it's not that bad of an idea. Even though people just do it illegally.
Right. So
And
like
it'll be fucked up because
right.
it'll be a drug basically.
Right.
But
Well,
I
alcohol
do
is a
think,
drug.
oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a legal drug because like okay, wonder why marijuana is still not like federally legal, but alcohol because alcohol is a huge industry. It's a multi-billion dollar.
It's weird. It should be reversed, dude.
Right. And it's gradually getting to that. Like in Canada, for example, they did legalize cannabis and there's other countries that like are getting there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's super like with big pharma
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Like it's interesting to see like probably in the next 10, 15 years how things progress. And the way the political system works here, things are so stagnant. Like obviously like
It's like once every 4 years. It changes so much every 4 years. You mean?
well, not even that like they have other things to argue about other than like the legalization of marijuana, even though like I think that is a really like important issue in America
For
because
sure.
obviously there are a lot of people in this country that do smoke,
Mm-hmm.
but like they want to talk about other stuff.
Right.
Like I don't know, like the entire like issue with like um gun laws and stuff like that. There's a reason why they only talk about it when there's like a school shooting or a mass shooting because they just want to talk about budget all the time. And then it's like something happens, they're like, okay, let's talk about stuff that people are actually like talking
Yeah.
about.
Dude, the news is a fucking
I
wormhole of bullshit. Dude.
I don't want to say I avoid it because like,
I avoid it completely, dude. I do.
like
Because it's nothing that's like, dude, they're never just like, yo, someone did something really good.
Oh, exactly. It's always something like, and
So I
now
was
like
fuck that liberal and his mother.
like every single time well turn on the news now or like go on my phone, go on Facebook, and it's all like Queen Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
I don't care.
like okay, like I'm Canadian. Technically, she was my queen. God bless her. God bless her. Son. But um, it's like they just want to put things that get headlines. Like they want to put
Yeah.
things that people are gonna read. And there's so much more to life than that.
Mhm.
Like imagine like 50 years ago when like we weren't living in such like a globalized society. Like
It was more just like small town.
right,
Small town politics was their shit.
right. So like I know at least like in Maine, so Maine is like regarded as like one of the most independent states in the country. But now like a lot of these like local politicians that run, they're like they want to be like I'm more like Trump or I'm more like Biden. But like it's fucking ridiculous because
Yeah.
like why can't you just stand for the things that
Bernie
actually
wasn't really like that though.
Bernie
Bernie and Trump were both kind of like not really politicians.
right, but like I think that if you advertise yourself as someone that isn't a politician, you're just going to end up becoming a politician because now Donald Trump I'd say is the biggest friggin' politician at least
Right.
like on the conservative end, and like it just like as I say, like I try to stay as apolitical as possible because
Yeah.
I
I
think
just
it's
try
all
to stay
fucking bullshit.
rational.
Right.
I also don't really like care, so I'm never like I never really get in like a deep I get in like deep like political conversations about like issues about morals and stuff, but I don't
Right.
really like have like someone I'm like really fully behind.
Oh,
I
totally.
like his laws and everything.
Totally, totally.
Like that's not dude, no one is like qualified to be president.
Oh no. Like it's all just morality at the end of the day. Like, for example, like and hate on me. You're not gonna hate on me, but if you're listening to this, hate on me if you want. But for example, Donald Trump, he is not a religious person. He, was
Oh
sleeping
fuck
with
no.
he was sleeping with strippers, like the Stormy Daniels stuff. But the moment he starts running for president, it's like, I love the evangelical community. My favorite book is the Bible, second to the Art of the Deal. And like suddenly it's like, when were you saying this fucking 50 years ago, dude? Like the only reason why you're saying this now is that you know that a huge basin of the Republican Party are evangelical Christians and just like religious people, and you're trying to suck up to them. Same thing, like, I mean, Democrats do the same exact thing.
Exact.
The
Dude, you
same
ever seen
exact
that
thing.
like meme of like Spider-Man and they're all like pointing at each other?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it is, dude. They're all just like, dude, honestly, let's be fucking real, dude. Everyone's just trying to suck a buck out of this
Oh hell
fucking
yeah!
like the
Because all the
world.
money, it's all
Nobody
the
really
money.
cares, dude. Everyone's just trying to make a buck while they can here.
Right, because they know it's all driven by money. The
Yeah.
world is driven by money. Like who's
That's
gonna
crazy? Isn't
it,
that bizarre?
and that's the crazy thing too,
Money and
because
resources.
if you look at it from like a further perspective, like if you like take a step back, money isn't everything. Yeah, money pays for your bills, money pays for, but money's not gonna make you happy.
No,
I know some people say I'd rather cry in my Ferrari, but who the fuck
who
wants to
says
cry
that?
anyway?
Who even has a
Dude,
Ferrari?
who wants to cry anyway? Like honestly, I'd rather make barely
At least I have
anything
a Ferrari.
and just like fucking Andrew Tate be like, "What color is your Bugatti?" Like, like
Come on.
like I like honestly, if I'm happy at the end of my life, I'd be content with my life. But who gives a fuck about money? I mean, I
Yeah,
say that from a
money.
point of
No,
privilege, but like,
I do too. Absolutely. I think I completely agree with you. That's a great point. Money is it doesn't mean everything, dude,
right.
But
Like
it definitely if you work really hard, you can work your way up.
oh, totally. But like, I mean, I say that
Not everybody.
I
can.
never had to starve growing up. Like,
Yeah.
I had 3 meals a day. More meals growing up than I do now, honestly, but out of
Yeah,
pure
me
laziness.
too.
But
Oh,
like,
I am terrible at cooking for myself.
oh, totally. Like, and okay, like I'm a decent cook. I could like cook some good Middle Eastern food, like I fucking love Middle Eastern food, like shawarma, fucking falafel, like
Dude,
stuff like
we
that.
should fucking cook some Middle Eastern stuff up next podcast.
Dude, hell yeah, hell
and
yeah.
have a drunk feast on the podcast.
And it's the crazy thing about like Jewish people too is that like Jewish people literally celebrate everything by drinking, like everything, like shot after shot after
Yeah.
shot, and it's like it's great because like so before I went to basic training, like I was living in New York and I had nothing else to do because I was working, so like I'd go to the synagogue so I could like meet people, and I'd get invited to like the rabbi's party where he'd invite like a bunch of other like these super religious Jews that like there was this one time it was the holiday Purim, which Purim is the equivalent of Halloween. People dress up, but the tradition is that you're supposed to drink to the point that you can't tell the difference between good and evil.
Oh yeah.
So
Wait, so it's just like a mischievous holiday?
more or less, but like you you have fun, but there's this one time, I threw up all over myself and I was in, I was in New York and I was sitting outside my father's apartment. I called my dad. I was like, dude, let me into the apartment. And he and like it's like religious drinking, so it's like justified because like you're drinking in like a synagogue. It's like basically you're drinking communion at a church, which I know you don't do excessively, but so there's this
I'd be game though.
dude, hell yeah.
That
There's
sounds
this
like a good
there's this
time.
Jew that's my father's neighbor who's from Yemen. And there's these 2 people who I'm assuming aren't Jewish that went up and they're like, should we call an ambulance on this dude? And this Yemeni Jew goes up and be like, no, do not do that. Like, he's supposed to be like this. And my father goes up, he throws me in the fucking bathtub, like turns it on. I slept.
Crashed at the synagogue.
Dude, I slept for a few hours, woke up, went back to the synagogue. Like,
kept partying. Is it like an
Oh,
all
hell
night
yeah.
thing? What is this holiday?
it's so Purim, the holiday celebrates a few thousand years back. The Jews were kicked out of Israel a few times, so they're kicked out once. They end up making a community in modern day Iran or Persia, and there was this one. He was basically the prime minister of Persia at the time, who was trying to convince the king to kill all the Jews because
who was it?
so the guy, his name was Haman.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the king's wife, whose name was Esther, was actually Jewish, but she like hid the fact that she was Jewish so she could marry the king.
Yep.
So basically, the entire point of the story was that Esther was like the hero of the story, and like revealed herself as Jewish and was like Haman's evil, and then they ended up hanging Haman, and like the Jews were triumphant.
We're like, yeah.
So like basically a lot of these Jewish holidays, like the celebration is like we lived, so we have to drink to that.
Dude, like what the fuck is wrong with people? Like what the fuck is wrong with Haman being like, yo, I'm trying to spread hate towards other people? Like that is your like,
right?
Or
So like,
Hitler or everyone that's fucking against any race.
Right. So you just like go back in history and you see like even now like my biggest problem, like I hate getting into politics, but like a big problem with like people who are like really racist towards like Hispanic people, where like a lot of these people are like Christian themselves, but Hispanic people are some of the most Christian people in the world. Like they are hardcore Catholics, and people are like they should go back to their country. But these people are some of the most like moral people in the world. They're the most hardworking people, the most moral people, and like like I think that prejudice and whatever, because obviously growing up in a community that like was I was really lucky because there's a lot of people that were super accepting, but of course you're gonna have that one or two bad cookie.
Yeah,
And like
absolutely.
I think it's just from like
What do you think it is though? Really, like people that are, you realize like the people that are like homophobic or like,
right, exactly.
like a little bit fucking gay.
Because
You know what I mean?
they're
Or all
not
the
confident
people
in
that are like,
themselves. They're not confident in
yeah,
themselves. That's the thing.
yeah, exactly. Like people have to get to a place of being like, and what the hell happened in fucking Salem witch trials,
Right.
Nazis?
Right.
Like what was going on there with people?
It's interesting because
The Salem witch trials.
we were talking about Salem witch trials in one
the
of my classes.
mushrooms that
Yeah.
grew on the fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that was making people sick.
Uh-huh.
And the thing is that people were getting there was like fungus and people were getting like fungal infections. I think that's
There's a
what
late
people
frost.
theorize. Yeah. So people were starting to become delusional. So they were assuming that there was a witch in the area that was making people be like that. But the thing is that at the time they were the Puritans. The Puritans, their ideology is that you're predestined when you're born, that you're either going to go to heaven or you're going to go to hell. So they were super superstitious. Like they wanted to be the most perfect, like to the line Christian as it gets, because they were afraid of being viewed like they're corrupted. Because if you're corrupted, you're going straight to hell.
Yeah.
So like the moment they start seeing people be like this, they're like start accusing people left and right, like you're a witch, and to the point that like basically if you had a problem with someone to like the slightest degree, you could just say like you're a witch. There's pretty much nothing that they could do about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Float or sink.
right? Like if you float, you're a witch and you're gonna die. But if you sink, you're not a witch, but you're still gonna be dead.
Wait, no, other way around.
No, because I think
If you
like
if you sink, you're a witch.
if you sink, you're not a witch, but you're gonna be dead because you're gonna drown.
But you have rocks or something.
Something along those lines. But the thing
But
is
nobody knew
that
how to swim. That's probably what it was.
no one knew
too.
how to swim because
Yeah.
who the fucking like the
They're all like,
1500s?
yeah, they're all like farming.
They're
They don't
like
have time
wearing
to
like
swim.
head to toe and like super like modest clothing.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? Jump in fucking Cape Cod? Like, like the water is cold as shit. Like, I go swimming sometimes in the lakes here,
yeah.
but like I don't know if you've ever swam in the ocean, like down in like Portland or whatever. Like I went night swimming once, but like I was drinking with my friends this summer, and like I would never do that sober. Like I swear, like I get like knee deep in water. I'm like, get me out of there.
Do you have like a swimmable lakes up north like that?
So like they're
Or they're like they're like moose bogs.
no, there's definitely swimmable lakes, and they're cold for a lot of the time of the year, but like come August time, like
August and
like
September,
the water's like in the 70s, and it's
July
like
too. July's pretty good.
have you?
That's yours, sir.
You're good.
Anyways.
Like I remember, it wasn't like in north. Well, you could consider it northern Maine, but one weekend this summer, I went with one of my friends that grew up in Millinocket to Lake Ambigigis, which is near Baxter State Park. It was like 90 degrees. I swear, like the moment I got there, it felt like I was swimming in a bathtub. That's like the same feeling. Have you ever been like Florida before?
Yeah.
So like you go in the water in Florida, like the ocean, warm as hell. I was in Israel this summer, and funny story. So
you get around.
Oh, I try to like rack up those friggin' Sky Mile points, and
Dude,
you know,
that's awesome.
everything on the
all
credit.
over the place.
So like I used my credit card, but I paid it off right away. But like, I was in Israel this summer. And funny story. I was swimming in the Mediterranean, and because my grandfather lives in Israel, my aunt lives in Israel. So like, whenever I go places, I always just make sure that like I stay at someone's house. I never take a hotel. So like all I have to do is pay for the plane ticket, pay for that. Like,
oh yeah.
Like I couch surf like crazy, dude.
You have you're good at networking.
Oh hell yeah, dude. The more people you know, the better.
Dude, it's true. I love it. I love networking.
Right. But funny story. So like I went swimming in the Mediterranean, but the thing is that in Israel during July, that's jellyfish season. Jellyfish. Yeah. So I got stung by a jellyfish in the Mediterranean. I had to go see first aid. I had to spray something on my leg.
Really?
Yeah. which it wasn't horrible. It like itched like crazy, but like
Dude, I heard that when somebody gets stung by a jellyfish,
pee on it.
yeah, pee on it. But that was something that like natives made up for tourists.
Really?
That were just like, yo, let's see if they do it, like pee on it. And then like everybody would like, now it's like a thing.
Dude,
It's like a myth.
I'm
It doesn't
glad.
actually help. It
I'm-
just like
I'm glad that no one peed on my leg because
that's that's pretty good, dude.
like golden showers. Freaking-
Yeah.
I don't want to. I was gonna say R. Kelly, but
Dude,
that's a whole hot button issue.
R. Kelly, dude, now his songs of disgusting.
Like
I'm like, oh, got my keys to ignition. I'm like, oh, you're talking about a 15-year-old girl, bro.
Right.
That's-
like everyone loves Space Jam to death, but like you listen to "I Believe I Could Fly," and you're like, that guy's fucked up.
is
Like,
that R. Kelly?
Yeah,
I haven't heard that one.
dude.
I know a couple of them. Ignition.
Ignition.
That's the name of my band too. So
Really?
it's like
Did you name it
kinda-
after? Did you name it after him?
No. What?
I mean, how long have you had the band for though?
dude, like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
But
you guys already sound pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
dude. Ooh, yeah, a little preview for the potty.
A little preview. You want to play it?
No, I'm not allowed to. My band doesn't want me to.
No.
But I do really want to.
Copyright.
Just come to my shows. Let's fucking promote this thing.
Do it.
AGR. Should we just promote AGR?
Promote AGR. Do it.
AGR on the 14th.
I mean, I can't guarantee that it's like an open or closed event.
Yeah, just if you're good with me, get in. If you're watching this, you're probably good with me. So
Like I'm only a pledge
Get
out here.
in.
So like
yeah, okay.
like a little background. Like want to talk about AGR for a bit?
yeah, hell yeah.
All
Let's
right.
talk about
Okay.
AGR.
So
This
obviously,
guy's
like,
a frat boy.
yeah.
Yo,
So I mean,
quick sidebar. Dad bods coming back, dude. Watch out,
dude,
frat
it is.
boys.
It is.
Frat boys are in trouble.
Yeah.
They like the little.
I'm working on my dad bod because I'm like around 6 feet tall. 170. I'm not that like I'm still working on it. Trying to put on those pounds. But like AGR, dude. So like I'm a pledge out there. So not a brother yet, but I'm a pledge. Reason why I joined AGR, I was talking to people from different frats. They're like, dude, you should totally rush your frat. Which there's a lot of really nice frats out there. There's a lot of really, really great guys that are in fraternities.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be in a fraternity to be a great guy. You don't have to be in a fraternity to have fun. But I've been living in this area since 2020, and I met a lot of people in AGR throughout these years. And ever since I started going to school in person, I was like, I have to be in AGR. Like, I have to rush it. I have to, at least make the bare effort, because you come to learn, you spend time in Orono, you spend time at UMO. You could rely on the people at AGR. You could rely on all the brothers. It's a great organization.
Yeah, man.
Great people. Really down to earth. If anyone listening to this who's not in fraternity, you don't even have to be underclassmen. You'd be a junior.
Dude, yeah. Anyone who's like thinking about joining a frat, I'll fucking say that, look, you can join a frat and have a ton of fun. You don't have to be in a frat to have a ton of fun.
Oh, totally. If you're worried about like parties and all, because like obviously like there's some frats that are like notorious for their parties. If if you're a social person and you're able to make friends that are in other fraternities, that won't be an issue to get into them, man.
No way.
Like you don't have, the thing about some of these frats is that I heard some of these frats have dues in the thousand, because like you have frat dues and stuff. So you're paying a hefty amount of money to hang out with people.
Yeah, that is something, dude.
And like, I mean, all frats, they have frat dues, but like if you're paying so much money to kind of just be with a group of people.
And if you stop paying, like, what is that? Like, what do you do? Like, your those are your friends, but you can't like hang out there.
Well, like, I mean, I don't know specifically how
Think
it
about
works,
that.
but
Though,
like,
I never even like if you're like in like say it's $5. How much is it? Like, or
I mean, I haven't had to pay anything yet, so
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
like,
is it like
I don't know if that's
5,000 or is it like 500?
it's not 5,000. I know AGR definitely isn't that, but thing is, and I don't know if I'm allowed to disclose how much. Like I haven't
No,
paid
you're all
anything.
good.
I'm in the beginning of everything, but I think I think the thing is about at least like going to a fraternity and all that is that if you really fit in and you want to pay a certain amount of money, if your frat has rather expensive dues, then go at it. But at the same time, not everyone has that privilege to like w- spend that money. Not everyone comes from the privilege to have money to throw around left and right. That's why, like, I think like I'm so fortunate that my parents don't help me with like expenses or whatever. Like they're great parents, but when I graduated from high school, I was like, I don't want your money. I want to be all on my own because I don't want to have to suck up. I have a great relationship with my parents. I call them, I talk to them, I love them to death. But I told them, like, you know, it's got to be all on me. So I was working my tail off for years, and now, like, I'm at the point that, like, I have money to, like, spend.
Mhm.
Maybe that might contribute to my, appearances at OHOP, but,
Yeah.
it's,
No, dude, it
other
feels
places.
good to work hard, man.
Yeah, like, I mean, talking more like, margaritas too.
Yeah, I work at Marg's.
Yeah, man.
I should say that on the pod. Yo, trivia next Tuesday.
I was so disappointed when I heard not this Tuesday
Yeah, that's
because,
what you're gonna say to the waitress.
oh, I'm gonna go right up. Like, if I wanna
Yeah,
go tomorrow, I'm gonna be like,
say
"Where the
that.
fuck is Manny?
Yeah, say that tomorrow.
Where the is Isabel working tomorrow? Do you know that? Do you know if she's working? If
Mm,
Isabel's gonna watch this,
probably.
I hope she does.
Isabel, hope you watch
Yeah,
this.
you better. Um, you know, I always like look at her dead and I'm like, Isabel, you better fucking marry me. I love her to death. I went to school with her. I graduated with her. Like we went to a really small high school, so like I fuck with the people I grew up with. It's great. Like I'll say like funny ass shit,
Yeah.
but like when I was at the rec center today, and I was just like putting a little bit of, like the weights in, lifting a little bit because need to get back into that shit.
Gotta get in that shape.
Gotta
Dude, you're
get
not
in that.
trying for that dad bod. What are you
No,
talking about?
yeah, but I got a PT test coming up
you're
soon.
good. You're good,
I
you're good.
I gotta
work out.
I gotta put at
Let's
least.
get ripped.
Oh hell yeah,
I gotta get ripped.
get on that
dude.
creatine, bro.
The creatine?
Get on the creatine.
Yeah, send me a picture of what to buy, and I'll just buy it.
Oh, I got a buddy of mine.
Wait. Tell. What do you take? What's on the?
So I'm not on creatine right now, but I'm getting on something. I have a good friend of mine. He's also Israeli, and he's like been setting me up. He's like, "You're gonna get on this. You're gonna get on this." I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Like back then, I used to take a shit ton of like these like different like supplements from uh Jocko Go that's owned by Origin.
Oh, Jocko.
So Jocko
Willink?
Willink. So as I was
Yeah.
telling you before, Jocko owns Origin Maine, or he's a partial owner of it. That's based out of Farmington, and they make a line of supplements. They make like energy drinks. And it's like
It's all natural.
yeah, they like brand themselves as
ingredients.
like all natural, and like they make clothing. And like the big thing about Origin is that they everything is made in America. Like they make their boots in right in Farmington. They make their supplements. I think they make them in Wilton,
Mhm.
which is also in Western Maine, like right next to Farmington. And they make jeans now, and they're starting to make hunting apparel too. And I
Mhm.
think they're making out of North Carolina, I believe. But it's crazy because like they advertise like, why would you spend a certain amount of money like basically off of slave labor from fucking Cambodia and
Or
China?
yeah.
Totally, like because like when you could spend a similar amount of money, maybe a little more, but very similar, but off of like American made labor where people are making livable salaries, doing stuff in like a lot more fucking good working conditions where like
Dude, have you been to China?
I've never
You seem like the guy to have been like,
I
pulled up
would
there.
so my grandparents my grandparents from Israel actually went to China, and this winter actually I need to book my flight back to Israel for the winter, but I want to do other I want to go like Germany, I want to go to fucking Greece.
Yeah.
It's dude, that's like my life goal, maybe like the moment I get out of the military is like backpack the world, man.
Oh, you want to backpack?
I want to
the world?
backpack the world. I want to South America, fucking Europe. So like Europe is cool and all, but I heard like if you really want to get a culture shock, you gotta like go to like South America. You gotta go to, like
South
Thailand,
America, Africa.
dude. Hell yeah. I mean, I might have to take a few malaria pills, but like, not
Dude,
trying to get.
I would go to Africa. I would go to anywhere in the world. The only place I probably wouldn't go is like Massachusetts. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Massachusetts.
kidding.
UNH is University of Northern Massachusetts. Okay, all respect to everyone that goes to get aromatic Joe's, because you can find me in line there sometimes. But sometimes when I'm looking at these license plates, when I'm like fucking waiting for my fucking AJ Rush, is that
I've
like
never had one. I've only had a
really,
sip of one sometimes.
really? I mean, it's not that great.
Somebody gave me a sip the other day and it was straight vodka.
I mean,
in the middle of class. I was
I
like,
mean,
whoa.
it's
thank you.
pretty much Red Bull. Pretty much Red Bull.
Yeah.
But like the thing is that like I'm looking at these like license plates like in line. I'm like Massachusetts. Like
Rhode Island.
like I swear to God, man. Like sometimes I like I like to talk to people. I'm like, where are you from? And like 50% of the time when I'm talking to people here, they're like, I'm from Mass. I'm like, expected. like maybe like I'm a Northern Maine bub.
Bro.
Like I'm a Northern Maine bub, like I could get into that fucking accent, like, oh hey, how's it going, Bob? Like,
That's
you
right, guy.
Like I grew up hunting and
something
fishing.
about like I don't know, the growing up in a small town in Maine, there's a lot of benefits and there's also a lot of shitty parts.
Oh hell yeah. Like I'm really fortunate that I have
the hometown bubs. There's nothing
yeah.
like your hometown bubs.
There's
even though I like my
that.
friends from college better.
Hell yeah.
I'm already probably better friends with you than anyone.
Dude, no, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun this semester.
It's gonna be a good year, dude.
But dude, like growing up in Northern Maine, like I'm really fortunate because I had a lot of friends, not a lot of friends, but a lot of family that like lived all over the place. And like I came from a diverse background.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some people that like I grew up with that never want to leave, which is totally okay because like they're doing their own things.
Right.
But like it's also funny as fuck going home and seeing your like the same people that you grew up with doing the same shit that they were doing when they were in high school.
It's true. But I don't really I got in a huge falling out with basically everybody.
Really?
My senior year in high school. And I like fucking dipped town and I've like two friends from high school.
Really?
I talk to. And those are really the only people I keep up with. I got three actually.
So I have like a group chat with like the people that
Christian, Yukon, Tyler.
Oh hell yeah,
miss you, bud. I like other people too.
Right,
but it's just not like I haven't seen them since high school.
You know what's crazy? Like, do your friends from high school ever like come to visit you here? And then
no, dude, they don't care about.
You know what's funny as fuck when like you bring your friends that you went to high school with, or like my roommate, he was a grade younger than me, but like I went to high school with him. But what's funny as fuck is when like the friends that you grew up with hang out with the friends that you made when you were like here.
Yeah.
It's like the weirdest dynamic. But what's great is that all the friends that I made here get along great with the friends that I had in high school.
From high school?
Yeah.
Dude, I'd like
which
to
is
meet
cool.
Someone. They seem chill.
Dude, like swing by my place,
They're anything like you, dude. They're fucking chillers.
They all have like their own unique personalities and all that.
That's what I'm talking about.
But it's great. Like last weekend, for example, like I had a few friends like, come from like Northern Maine, all that. And like, we went out, we like, we had a good time. But like, honestly, it's like the biggest like culture shock because like growing up in Northern,
you or to them?
No, for a lot of times for them at first, not anymore.
Yeah.
But like for me, spending a lot of time in Northern Maine, like going down to Bangor, like that's like the big city.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no, yeah, dude, Portland's the same thing for us.
Right.
Like we're like Western Maine kind of.
Right.
And we're not much.
Right. But then, dude, you go to Bangor.
But I can't even speak because Madawaska is like
Madawaska is like 4,000. It's like 3,000-4,000.
You have a Walmart in your town.
We don't have we had a Kmart that closed in 2018. Rest in peace, Kmart.
Wait, in Edmonton.
So in Edmonton,
how big is Ed? But you guys probably don't even see each other, right?
No, so we do. That's the thing. So like when COVID happened, they closed for like 2 years the border, which was absolutely detrimental to the tax rate in New Brunswick. It was 14%, I believe, and the tax rate in Quebec maybe it changed, but at the time, a few years back, it was at 18%, which is like absolutely insane.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
I mean, they make up for it for like with free healthcare and all that, but like it's so a lot of people growing up right on the border would go cross the border in the States, get like their milk, get their eggs, whatever, for like ridiculously cheaper. But like right across the border, it was 20,000 people, which is kind of similar to like Bangor. Bangor is 30,000, but like felt like a bigger town. And they had like Walmart, they had things, they had clubs, they had bars, they had all that like
Where? Where
at
at?
Edmonton, New Brunswick.
Oh, that's how it's like Bangor?
It's a little smaller than Bangor,
Yeah, but
like
still like Prescott?
bigger than Presque Isle.
Yeah.
Right. So like it was nice, like growing up right across the border because like I grew up like pre-COVID, like I was living there pre-COVID. So like legit, like my grandparents lived in Edmonton, New Brunswick. I get a 40-minute lunch break my junior and senior year. I would drive across the border during my 40-minute fucking lunch break, eat a sandwich, drive back to America, and still make it on time.
Dude, there you go.
Because like you cross the border and like you're a regular, and they're like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
And you're like,
they know
"Oh yeah, I just
everyone.
went to get lunch," and they'd be like, "Oh, have a good one."
Mhm.
Like
Was it ever like that when you when it was COVID? Ever
So,
once?
with COVID, they only recently opened back up, and now you have to like download an app on your phone to go into Canada, where you have to upload your vaccine card and upload your fill out a COVID questionnaire. Like, have you felt sick these past 14 days? Like, obviously, you're gonna fucking put no.
Yeah.
If you really want to go to Canada, you're gonna put no. But like it's they take their COVID protocols extremely seriously.
Mhm,
Like if you thought that anywhere in America was like serious, which like to a degree it was,
mhm.
in Canada, like they shut down to the max, which like as I said, like with the borders was extremely detrimental to the economy in northern Maine because they relied so much on that Canadian business. And the moment that went away, it didn't like completely recover. Like businesses shut down because of
In
that.
Madawaska.
Northern Maine in general,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
like Madawaska, we had Kmart. Obviously, they didn't close because of they closed before COVID. They closed because Sears went bankrupt, I believe. Sears
Okay,
is
yeah,
like the
yeah.
company that
Oh,
owns
so
Kmart.
Sears.
Right?
Wait, Kmart's just a small gas station.
No. Kmart used to be like on par with Walmart.
Oh, Kmart's.
No, like you're
Pimpin'.
thinking about Circle K.
I'm thinking about Circle K.
No,
Yeah.
Kmart.
We have a little mart in our town.
So Kmart was on par with Walmart until probably about 10 years ago. But then the company that owned Kmart, which is Sears, their department
Sears,
store,
yeah. They
like
used to sell
SEAR.
Craftsman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they went bankrupt. They started closing these stores left and right. And then Madawaska, like when they closed, like they were getting good business there.
Mhm.
In Madawaska, they have a Martin's, they have a Tractor Supply, which if you've ever been to a Tractor Supply, you buy chickens there. It's pretty cool. Like baby chicks and shit like that. Like pretty cool shit. I mean, I don't think I'd buy one, but yeah, like the dollar
You
store.
buy chickens.
Yeah. The
Dude, is
dollar
a chicken? How much is a chicken compared to a fried chicken?
a chicken compared to a fried. I know that you could get them for really cheap, but
Yeah, I
the
think
problem
you
is
can.
I think like people were getting chickens and people were getting like I think they'd sell like ducks there sometime, like
Yeah.
small ducks.
It's like
I may
all
be
open
wrong.
meat counter.
But the problem like babies,
Yeah.
like fresh fucking hatched. But the problem is that like, people would go, they'd buy like these chicks and they don't know how to fucking take care of them. They're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna throw it in my bathtub and like put water and like watch
But
it
they're like
swim."
shitting and like they
Right?
need food.
Like I think
All
like
hell's breaking loose.
right, like but that's the problem with like a lot of people with pets too.
Yeah.
Is like people like buy a dog and they have no fucking clue how to take care of it, or a
True,
cat.
dude. But that's the thing. Same thing with a kid. Like literally, people have a kid and be like, "Oh, what do we do with it?" It's like you just
Dude,
figure it out.
right? Like, and I mean that's the problem with society now is that like so many parents are so like neglectful of their children that like they're pretty much on their own at that point.
That's weird to think about that. We're like the first generation that's gonna have a kid and be like, "How do I do something? Look it up."
Right.
Like before, it was just like, "Yo, just figure it out."
Like,
it's not that hard, probably.
you want to amuse your kid, just fucking turn your TV on and play Coco Melon and like
Yeah. I don't. Are you gonna let your kids watch like TV like that?
honestly, like, I'm at the
I'm
point in my
probably gonna
life
be
where,
like, I'm probably gonna be like just needing them to get to space.
like, I'm at the point in my life where I'm in no position to even think about having a child. So,
Really?
like, like, you ever, like, maybe if I were, like, in, like, a relationship with a girl for, like, 10 years, not even 10 years, but, like, you're in with, like, for a while and you're both, like, you have that, like, you both have, like, that emotional maturity.
Yeah.
Like, it's different, like, if you're dating someone when you're in, like, high school or you just, like, graduated because you don't have that, like, life
Yeah,
experience.
you don't. Yeah, totally.
But, like, now, like, even now, man, like, I worked for the military for a few years, like, I have that, like, professional experience, but, like, I think that if I were to have a child right now, I would probably shit my pants.
Dude, I wouldn't, dude. I would just be like, oh yeah, welcome.
No,
Dude,
like,
you gotta if you have a kid, like, sure, like, now's not the right time or whatever, but 10 years from now you'll be like, yo, he's dope as hell.
oh, tell like,
You know?
I would grow up really quick if I had a kid, but, like, I think so, like,
Oh
maybe
yeah,
when
for sure.
like, I think I was thinking about it when I was, like, 15 years old, I was like, "Oh, like, it'd be cool to have a kid when you're young because, like, at least when, like, if I, like, had a kid when I was 20, by the time that they're an adult, like, I'll
Yeah.
still be, like, relatively young."
Mhm.
But, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I still have so much to live for until, like, I want to, like, settle down.
Yeah. I still have a lot to live for as well, but at the same time I'm like, dude, that's I want it to be obviously. I don't know. There's a lot. uh, I guess I've just been saying for years, but I have to reconsider.
Right. Nah,
But
like,
when I think about it, I mean, I'm still like excited when I'm thinking about like being a father.
oh, hell yeah, hell
Like,
yeah.
dude, you can teach it how to play disc golf.
Oh, hell
You
yeah.
could teach it like how to whatever. You can teach your kid. It's literally you,
Right.
you know.
I
Like,
mean, it's a halfway, like, contribution, though, like,
no, yeah,
I
it's
think
you and the mom too.
like, I think, like, a problem with a lot
No
of people
doubt.
like
That's I feel like that's why a lot of dudes are attracted to girls.
right, because, like, they look
they're
at them and, like,
you're
they
like
would
a
be a
suitable
good
mother.
mother.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that are attracted to girls that are like, I would never have a kid with them, but I wanna sleep with them.
That's
Like,
true.
but that's the problem with society nowadays, though, because, like, people are like
Nobody wants to have a kid. Everyone just
no one
wants to
want
sleep with each other.
right, and, like,
Not me.
okay, God bless, like, modern technology, God bless birth control, God bless all that, like, it's, like, cool that, like, we have these safe options that, like, if you choose to go down that path. At the same time, though, like, that's where mistakes are made, where, like, you have a one night stand with a girl and then suddenly they're pregnant and then, like,
Ooh,
which, like,
tough.
yeah, it's tough, but, like, like, God bless them as well, like, I have a lot of respect for women that, like, you know, carry, like, I know, like
Yeah, no doubt. Also, like, if that happened, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, if that have not, like, I don't want it
right,
to.
knock
Like,
on wood.
that's a hard thing to say, but because like you can't picture stuff in the future.
Right.
It's like going if I said, "Hey, you want to go to my campground this weekend?" You're like going to be like, "Oh yeah, sure," but you can't really picture how this weekend's going to go because
Right. Because there's so many, like, contributing factors.
exactly.
And that's the thing, like, you know, the thing about planning out for the future, like, I'll take it
Planning
back
for the future is tough, dude.
right, but
There's a
people
lot
think that they
of
have the future ahead of them. People when they're 18 years old, which if any of you watching are 18, if you guys are freshmen, respect to you. But, like,
yeah. Thank you.
when you're a senior in high school, you think that you, like,
I'm not 18.
you
by the
have
way.
everything. True that. You think that, like, you're gonna plan out your entire life and all that. And, like, I know, like, I know a lot of people in the military. I know people in the military that got married at the age of 18 and then, like,
Get a double paycheck.
they get a double
Double the
paycheck, number
paycheck.
1. They basically incentivize getting married. And then, they have a kid when they're young and all that, and, like, the military really matures you to that point. And, yeah, there were times when, like, I was working for the military where, like, I thought that I was the most mature guy in the world because, like, I had my own apartment, I had a girlfriend, I had this, I had a
Mhm.
full paying job, I had a nice car, all that. But the moment like that facade wears off and then you realize that you actually are still a kid, you're just a kid wearing a uniform, holding a gun, like then you realize I have a lot of growing up to do. I have a lot of maturing. I have a lot of life to live.
Oh yeah, man.
Like,
Polishing this off.
oh hell yeah, man.
Uh-huh.
Like, I this year was like a real waking up call for me. Like I was traveling like different
Yeah.
places. Like this summer, I went like first like started off as a family in Florida, like for I went to my
Dude,
sister's graduation.
you're never not gonna cringe about yourself 6 months ago.
No, no, totally.
Like I have a little brother who's 5 years older than me. Yeah, he's a junior in high school.
That's the time to be alive, man.
Time to be alive for sure. But he thinks he knows everything. He
Right.
thinks he knows everything. And it's kind of hilarious because I was that way too in high school.
But that's the most
And that's
humbling thing.
Yeah,
To know that you don't know
exactly.
everything. To know
And
that you still
I'm
have
21
so much to
now,
go.
and I'm gonna be watching these podcasts probably and be like, "Shit, I was such a dumbass."
Oh, there's
you
probably
know?
gonna be things that, looking back, like when
Yeah,
I watch this
totally.
podcast, be like, "Well, why did I say that?"
Even going back to like the first podcast, I'm like, "Shit, that was 6 months ago."
Because you live and you learn, man. Like
You
as
live
I
and
said,
you
like
learn. It's beautiful.
I started, I was going through a rough time, breakup, all that. I was working a lot. I was like, I had a lot on my shoulders. I was feeling pretty numb, and I was like, one really good thing about like when hardship happens is that it makes you feel because a lot of times people want to numb themselves from like negative feelings and all of that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there's do you listen to the Lumineers at all?
Lumineers. Hey, heyo,
Okay, so there's a song by Lumineers. I think it's called
Ophelia.
not Ophelia. It's um something love. It's just not like I'm kind of brain dead. But
Yeah.
okay, so there's stubborn love. And the lyric is I think it goes, I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all. The opposite of love is indifference. So what I got out of that is that if you're like that was kind of like I was listening to that song and that like opened my mind up. Like I had like basically like an enlightenment from that because like I realized that if you're numb and you're not sad, but you're also not happy. So like if you have hardship in your life and you start feeling like depressed, even though depression fucking sucks and we've all gone through it where we've gone through months or weeks where
Mhm.
we're depressed, at least that depression is what you have to go through to get to the point that you're happy again. And I went through some tough times, man, like this year, but the tough times forced me to get out of my bubble and change my environment so I'd start doing shit that I enjoyed.
Yo, that's so true. If you're literally uncomfortable, that is when I think not you, but like anyone.
Right.
That's how I feel for myself. Like when I'm working as hard as I can, going from school to work to
Exactly.
writing a rap album after this
Oh hell
to
yeah, bro.
playing for band. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if I'm like packing as much as I can in and like overworking myself, that's when I feel like I strike comedic gold.
Hell yeah.
Or I like, you know what I mean?
No,
or,
like when you're
or I can actually think clearly or not be,
but
just
it takes
tired
that.
at the end of the day.
It
maybe.
takes to get to that point to finally open yourself up.
Yeah,
Like, dude, like not that many people are fortunate to get to like travel that much, but like,
Mhm.
dude, like I went to Israel and the Middle East, and I went to, I was in Colorado, I was in California,
Mhm.
I fucking drove to Wyoming, like, I went to Florida, like all that, like honestly, like, you could go to a lot of different places,
For sure.
but the happiest I felt this entire year was walking in a trail near Cheyenne, Wyoming. Like
Yeah.
I felt pure bliss just walking that trail, knowing that I was exactly where I had to be at that very moment.
Dude, you're just feeling time with yourself.
Dude, like I was all alone. I was walking my sister's dog
Mm-hmm.
and I just felt so happy because like I knew that
You're present.
Right, I'm present, like, everything that I went through because, like, there were some times this year where, like, I just wanted to fucking scream at myself, like, I was so just not happy.
Yeah, about like how you've been in the past.
Right, like, how
Yeah.
I've been, like, like, not necessarily mistakes, but, like,
Just
the
growing. The
perspectives that I
hardships of
had.
growing.
Right, like, like, I had some pretty shitty perspectives before about, like, life, but what I realize is that if you're not happy,
Mhm.
like, a lot of times when people are in a situation where they're numb, they get comfortable with it. It's like a drug.
Mhm.
Even if they're not.
Oh, or like, like depressed people
Right.
where they're like, they almost like being
Right,
depressed a
like,
little
they don't
bit.
wanna change their lives because, like,
Yeah.
they're kind of fine at where they're at.
Yeah.
But
And then it's just like, it's all they're just sad.
right,
That's their
but, like, it
personality.
takes heartbreak, it takes
Yeah.
kinda, like,
Tell-
something big to happen in their life or something to wake them up to
Mhm.
finally make that switch and be like,
Well, for every tough day, there's gonna be like the good parts about it. Like I remember, like when I was a kid or when I was in high school, I was super depressed one year. I was
Right.
super, super, super sad, and it was just taking a huge toll on me mentally, whole
Right.
9 yards. But dude, without that being sad and all those tough times, I remember, dude, the good times wouldn't have felt so good.
hell yeah, dude, and that's why right now, I'll be real with you, I am having the time of my life right now. Like,
You had to go through that tough stuff.
exactly, like, and Orono, Maine, it's not all of that, like, you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'll be real with you, like,
Yeah.
you're in the middle of the woods, like, there's a few things to do here, but the fact, like, I'm able, like, wake up and, like, go to class and, like, listen to shit that, like, I actually enjoy
and think it's cool, and
and
you're
think
like
it's cool.
getting information. It's more than a
Right.
YouTube video.
Right, like, and, you get out and, like, shout out to you, Maine, like, great campus, great people, like, there's a lot of great people to meet. There's a lot of great people talk like, I'm talking fucking Manny right now. Manny
Fuck
is
yeah.
a fucking G.
Dude,
Like
cheers, man. Thank you.
You're able to have really deep intellectual conversations that really tap into your mind. Like, I could talk to Manny about literally anything, about the world, about, history, about society, about just, like, things that will really divulge into, like, the inner fucking crest of your
The
brain.
grains that
The
are
grains,
crossing.
exactly.
Yeah, dude.
And, like, that's, like, what's cool about here is that there are people like that.
Yeah. It's like you can be around a lot of like-minded people.
Exactly.
And you can be around a lot of not. I think with college, it makes you realize how many smart people there are and how many dumbasses.
Oh,
there
exactly.
are.
And even here,
And
but,
I'm like,
you get to
wow.
choose. You really get to choose. Like for example, like as I said, I'm Israeli. I thought going to UMaine or living here, I wasn't gonna find any fucking Israelis. Shout out to fucking Liron Nidan.
Shout out.
Like,
Yo, they're gonna
honestly,
watch the potty.
I'm gonna shout them out to that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
send them the link.
Fuck
Like,
yeah.
shout out to them.
I'll leave the link in the
Right.
What are we leaving the link to? Oh yeah, you're sending the link to the podcast.
Right. I'm gonna
I'll
send
link
after.
I'll link their
Right. They might be sleeping by now. But
yeah.
the thing is, like, okay, they're both Israelis, and saying, like, growing up here or living here the past few years, I haven't met one Israeli. And the moment I start going to school in person, because I was doing it all online before, I met these two really great people that have a similar background to me, that I'm able to have so many different conversations about our culture, conversations about just, like, everyday stuff. Like, I never thought that I was gonna, like, find that.
Mhm.
And in the middle of nowhere, in arguably northern Maine, not really northern Maine, but arguably, like, culturally northern Maine, you find so many different type of people. I've met, like, people from China, people from the Middle East, like Arabs. I've met Indians, Pakistanis. I've met Europeans, like people from so many different walks of lives, even
It's
from
weird.
America.
I agree. Like we're going to Freiburg Academy in high school. Like I
Mhm.
said, there's a lot of diversity. It's like you can walk down the hall and feel like you're the guy in Asia or wherever.
Right.
There's so much diversity. You don't even know where it is in the world if you didn't, you know what I mean? If you're just walking down the hallway there.
Right.
And dude, that fucking untaps a thing in your brain.
Exactly.
Because you got like people like oil princes coming to
No, even
coming
here,
to
like
Maine.
I shit you not, that's
And then
the
people
best thing
like,
in the world.
yeah, and then people like here that are like, you know, gone through some struggle. You
Right.
know what I mean? Their parents are, you know, on drugs or
Right.
just obviously didn't get the best cards dealt, and they're talking to each other.
Right. And you're able to relate
the-
to people and
yeah.
you're able to see different perspectives. Like growing up in Maine, obviously.
I'm so blessed to be from Maine. This is the
Me too,
greatest
man.
state in the country.
And
Greatest place in the world.
what's crazy with Maine, at least, is the amount of, even though Maine is only about 1.3 million people, it's the whitest state in the country. Even there's so much diversity in that there's so many different walks of life. Like you go to coastal Maine, there's the lobster fishermen. You go to northern Maine, the potato farms, the rural nature of it. You go to southern Maine, like metropolitan Boston, Portland area. Like there's
Western Maine, you got loggers, dude.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You get the French Canadians, you get so many different type of people that, like, especially in the military, like being in the Maine guard. I've met people from all over the state that, like, people that grew up doing lobster fishing. And I've been like, dude, you gotta take me on your fucking lobster boat.
Yes,
like,
I always wanted to do that.
like I worked on a potato farm for 1 year, and that was like the most eye-opening experience because like it made me realize like, why the fuck am I here? Why am I like legit working on a harvester, like picking rocks out, like, and all of that. And then like what's crazy is that I was just like a kid that grew up in northern Maine, but then like I could go to somewhere like travel to Israel and be with my family there and feel like completely Israeli, like speaking Hebrew, all of that, and like feel like you're completely a part of that culture. Like I think in order to be successful, you have to be able to like kind of like fit into different groups. Like, and that's what's great about UMaine is that you go there and you make friends that are like so like from different upbringings and stuff like that, but you find your way. You find your way.
Dude, absolutely.
I fucking love it.
Dude, everyone finds their way somehow. Hopefully they don't find their way to jail. You know, dude, we're getting to the age where like we see like our people that we went to high school. We're talking about high school a lot this podcast.
Oh yeah, dude.
But
it's nostalgic and it's crazy because
did you like high school?
I liked it. I liked it and I didn't.
Yeah.
Because like growing up, you know, small high school, sometimes I just wish I went to a bigger one. But like same time, dude, like, you know, you grow up in a small high school and you get along with your teachers. Your teachers know you on a personal level. I had good grades, but at the same time, I had a really bad case of attention deficit disorder. And sometimes I'd be in class, I'd be like thinking of
dude,
like,
because it's fucked up. Like, dude, what do you think a 15-year-old's thinking about? School, mathematics, or baseball? They're thinking about baseball. So it's impossible to teach somebody like mathematics when their mind's just thinking about like baseball. I don't know. I don't know about baseball.
You have to be,
or hockey, whatever.
You know, a literal pro to focus yourself so that your main priority is literally academics there. Because like my sister, for example, like I love my sister to death. She went to the main school of science and mathematics in Limestone, Maine.
Wait, I know.
MSSM.
I know a couple people from
there. Yeah.
Wait, do you know? Did you go there?
I didn't go there.
Wait, where is it? Where is it?
In Limestone. You know where the old Air Force Base was, Loring? Northern Maine.
Yeah.
Near Caribou.
Yeah.
So there it's I think it was ranked the number 2 school or number 1 school in New England, and it was like top 10 public schools in the state. It's public, like you have to get accepted
it's the
to go.
Same thing.
It's like a magnet school.
Like all the people in the area go for free, but everybody else has to pay like a ton.
No, so
that's how my high school was.
I think that at the time that she was going, if you lived in the state, you had to pay $8,000, but that was just for the to live there. Like you didn't have to pay for the tuition, but if you lived, like if you're an international student, you had to pay for the tuition. So there, like it's a super academic school. Like people go there so they could get a pristine education that will prepare them for
Life.
life, prepare them for college. And that's why, people that go there, end up
I know the people I know that went there over excel. They're
totally. And there's people that go there that like I know some people that like went there that like are here at UMaine, but there's a lot of like there's someone in my class actually that like went up to me, and my sister's she goes by Sarah, but her first name is Sterna. So like which is Jewish for star. But one of them went up to
Do
me.
you have
And
a
they're
Jewish star on? Yo,
no,
pull
so
that fucking thing out.
it's not a star, but it says chai. It means life in Hebrew.
Oh, nice.
It's like
oh wait, let me see.
Yeah,
I remember when we did the alphabet
Really?
in like whatever grade school. We used to paint it out and do it backwards. You know how it reads
right, because
backwards.
Hebrew is right to left, it's not left to right.
But it's weird to think about. Was it more people left-handed back then? What do you think it was?
So there were people that were left-handed, but at the time that
because we would smudge all our writing, but I'm thinking,
are you a lefty?
No, I'm right-handed.
So there at the time when the church had more domination in society, there's a misconception that they thought that like left-handed people like kind of came from the devil or something, or it was like evil. So like they would like slap
those devil lefties.
Right. So like going back, like Sterna, like one of my my classmates, one of my classes are like, "Are you Sterna's brother?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And they're like, "Oh, I went to MSM with her. Like I'm 2 years younger." I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, well, there's not that many people with my last name or my first name either.
Yeah,
I think I'm probably the only person in the state. Like the funny thing is that like I have a super unique name. Obviously, like my legal name is super fucking intricate. Like
say it again.
Yeshayahu Yaakov Kuptchik, which is Isaiah Jacob.
Yashu,
yeah, it's like sometimes
offensive. I'm sorry.
No, it's not at all, dude. It's fucking funny. Sometimes like there's this one guy I was hanging out with the other day, and I said my last name, and they're like, "Could I just call you Ketchup?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, go for it!" Like, dude, that ketchup, like the condiment.
yeah.
But yeah, like going back, like my sister, like she was so committed to school, and like it really like, dude, it played out. It played out really well. Dude, it played out really well because like she ended up going to like a great university where like she had most, if not all, of her school paid for through scholarship, and it was like the most expensive school to attend in like the state of New Jersey. I think like the tuition was like really expensive, which like mostly paid for through scholarship. And she excelled. She got a degree in biomedical engineering, and she's planning on going to med school, like, or something like that, like after like become a doctor. And like to attend a school like that perfectly aligned her to do that, which is different. Like if you go to public school, at least like a public high school in your like town, where like people care more about like playing baseball or soccer or basketball. Like when I had days where like I had a game, the only thing I could like think about was like leaving and going to that game.
That was every day of my life in high school.
Fuck yeah.
Even in college too sometimes.
Oh,
I
hell
mean,
yeah.
I'm so fortunate that I found such a passion in forestry.
Hell yeah.
Learning about trees, and I'm blessed to own the campground too, but really finding something I'm interested in college makes me feel like, dude, I'm gonna own the campground one day. Absolutely. It's gonna be fucking awesome. But I don't need to. I could take my life in so many directions.
Right.
And I'm excited to. If I wanted to, I want to fucking release a rap album.
But that's what we're blessed about. Like the fact that we have so many options. Talking about rap albums, like when I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
I was a little SoundCloud rapper, Gift 207.
Is that you?
Well, when I was 14.
Gift,
I got
to it.
I don't even know it's still on there, but like
dude,
I gotta find it. And like it's funny as fuck because like I always tease them, like I'm gonna release new music because this was fucking 8 years ago. Like you hear me like I have a little bit of a lisp now, but it's not as bad. But then like I was like bad, and I had like the squeakiest fucking prepubescent voice, and I was like, You know, I did it because like I thought it was funny.
Right.
And, like I knew like at that point in my life, I wasn't like trying to do it to be serious. I was doing it because like I did not give a fuck what people thought about me when I was younger. I
Oh yeah,
still don't.
yeah. You still don't. I could tell
I
that.
still don't
You
because
care. You do care though. It's not.
I care. Like I of course I want to be like, you know, I want to get
No,
along with everyone.
I think that's. I don't know. I used to say that and think that, like, I don't care what people think about me.
Right. But we do
It's
inevitably.
There's a limit to that.
But I think that if you're a really genuine person, then it won't matter because people are still gonna like you. People
Mhm.
are still gonna like. I know, like I've heard about you from multiple different people, and they all have great things to say about you.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Which, like,
Dude, you
respect
too.
to you.
You too. I've only heard about you from people I trust. And
Right,
all positive things.
right, and like that's the thing. Like, as long as you stay true to yourself, you're not like changing your personality based off of like who you're around and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna just get on
The
great.
lamest people.
Yeah, hell
You know?
yeah. And that's why
You're good at being yourself, dude. I'll
right.
tell you what.
And like that's like going back to like, you know, frats. The
Mhm.
thing is like you go to like some of these bigger frats, and I know a lot of 18-year-olds that like want to rush frat because they want to get into a party. They want to just get into parties, they want to have fun, like, you know, fake IDs, fuck that. Like you go to OHOP, they're gonna catch you with your fake ID.
I went to
go
OHOP all last year with a fake.
there.
It
Really?
was awesome. Yeah. dude.
Holy fuck, don't tell them that.
I was from Alaska.
Really?
Yeah, and actually the guy checking it half the time was on my floor, and I was friends with him, and he just didn't put two and two together
Holy
or
fuck.
something. I'm not even sure. I don't know.
But that's like
I think he was just being nice.
so like the thing is that like these kids are 18 years old. They don't want like they want to get into parties. They want to like, you know, make out with girls and do all that. So they're gonna rush like a big frat that like is gonna accommodate that. That's gonna throw parties every single weekend and do this and do that. But then they go up to these guys that are like, I'm from South Shore, Mass, blah blah blah. My father owns a fucking country club, like, and they kind of have to like mimic their personalities in order to get to
Fit
that
in,
point.
yeah.
Well, the cool thing about AGR, or
To
I
get
don't
to
wanna
that
say
point, yeah, they have to be like, yo, like
right, but the cool thing about
Yeah,
AGR is that you
that's
go there, you
facts.
be your fucking self, and you're gonna get respect for it. I mean, I think like the cool thing, at least for me, like I have enough to talk about. Like I could go like anyone and just like
yeah, to make conversation.
make conversation that they're interested in.
Yeah.
But there's some of these 18-year-olds that'll show up and they're like
What's up,
scared
dude?
shitless. Like
Yeah.
they're absolutely scared shitless and they don't
Dude,
want
so
it.
you used to have a lisp?
Yeah, when I was younger.
Dude,
There's
I used to have a lisp too, and I used to have a lisp, and
yeah,
I got really into the Beatles, and I realized I was like, yo, they don't have a lisp when they're singing,
right,
you know, they don't have a British accent when they're singing,
right.
you know. So I was like, yo, I gotta just learn how to play guitar.
Did you
And
learn?
Because when I was singing, I didn't have a lisp.
Wait, do you play guitar in your band?
I play bass in my band,
No
but I
shit.
play guitar my whole life, and that's
Right.
kind of why I play bass. But
You know-
then I started playing guitar and singing, and then now it's slowly like,
You want to give me guitar lessons? I bought
dude,
I
wait, what'd you
bought a
buy?
guitar. I bought a guitar at the guitar place in Bangor because I was like, dude, wouldn't it be awesome to like be at a fucking
Dude,
campfire and
let's
take your
jam.
guitar
An
out,
acoustic.
like acoustic? Because like
I'll teach you some stuff.
I listen to a lot of like most music that I listen to. Like I listen to like everything. I love rap music. I love all that. But like I love folk music. I love like do you like listen to country at all?
Oh yeah,
So like, you know like Tyler Childers,
oh yeah.
Zach
Virgil
Bryan.
Simpson.
Yeah, Sturgill Simpson, bro. Like fucking you could have the crown. Like
Oh, dude, that's the best song. You know what my favorite one is?
What?
Tyler Childers, Honky Tonk Flame.
oh fuck yeah.
That's a great
Dude,
one.
he's releasing a new album actually in on the 30th.
Oh sweet.
He released is the song called Hallelujah. I think it's gonna be more of like a kind of like a the theme is more like about God, but like Tyler Childers is such like a phenomenal, like talented musician. Like Feather Indians, like that's like I remember when I first listened to that,
Yeah.
I was like, that is fucking something else. Zach.
True, yeah, it's something else. You know when you hear lyrics and they just make so much sense.
Right, and like you really read the lyrics that like you listen to him and he has such like a melodic, angelic voice, and then you read the lyrics and you see like they're so deep, they're so like down to earth that you're like, I would be friends with that guy.
Yeah, facts.
And then like, do you listen to Zach Bryan at all?
Not as much.
Okay, so Zach Bryan, also same like idea. Like I hate country music that is like all like pop.
Yeah, I
Like
hate
Florida
pop
Georgia
country.
line. Like that was the first concert that I ever went to, and it got me into country music because before I never listened to fucking country music. Actually, when I was in high school, my senior year, I was trying to impress this girl whose family owned a potato farm. So I tried to pretend I was country then. Like I was like yeehaw, yeehaw. Like I was country from the get-go, but I wasn't like
really.
no like I did all the country stuff. Like I hunted.
I'm not
like,
really country.
like-
I think I grew up not really that country, but I
didn't grow up with the
actually
mentality. But like
I didn't
would
grow up with the mentality, no, but I grew up around a lot of country folk.
right. But I did like a lot of like, the hunting and the fishing and like driving in dirt roads and fucking having pit
Exactly.
parties and stuff like that.
Pit parties, dude.
We would have pit parties near potato fields. And they were the fucking best, dude. Sometimes I had buddies of mine would have buddies that were Canadian. They were French Canadian with like thick fucking French Canadian accents. They'd come across and like we'd be like, "Holy fuck, there's a French Canadian here."
They'll drive back across the border drunk. It's legal here.
But like, dude, like I shit you not, like when I was in, like that time, like I pretended I was like I love tractors because I had nothing else to fucking think about. Like, how am I gonna impress this girl who owns a fucking potato farm? Never worked out, which I'm glad it did because like that would have been fucking fake of me to do. But then I started.
I don't think I'm a fake country, but I don't know. I grew up doing all like you're the same way. Like you are country at heart.
Oh, at
you
heart,
don't need to fake being country.
But what's fucking fun?
You grew up with fucking country
like
boys.
I could pull that country card, but then like the moment I'm around Israelis, it's like I'm full on fucking Israeli. Like fucking mashlomcha manishma, like
damn, you are
manishma, like all that shit.
You're
like,
that country boy Israeli.
Oh hell yeah. And it's like it's great because like you can have that fucking switch like just like that. Like
hell yeah. Dude,
and
I think that's like that with everyone though. Like I'm like when I'm around people that love to talk about trees and who are super articulate, and want to talk about the science of trees and getting into it. I love that. I'll talk about that all day.
And then you can switch this fucking thing.
And then I'll talk about, dude, my buddy from back home. We just got a DUI. I had to pick him up at 4 a.m. Jesus Christ, Wayne. Why did you have to do that,
what the fuck
Wayne?
Are you doing, Wayne? No, but that's the great thing about here. But there's also a lot of people I know that like go to like the big universities. Like if you consider UMaine a big university, it's big, but it's not like
damn big.
Like have you ever been to like California?
Yeah, I've been to California.
Okay. Have you ever been
San Francisco up?
Dude, like I went when I was 16 because my sister was thinking about applying to UCLA. There's fucking 40,000 people that go to school there.
We have 10,000. That's not that much bigger. Alabama has like 125.
But it's crazy. Like you go to like some of these universities and you're like basically in a fucking like the university is the city, which in a way, Orono,
they have like fast food restaurants.
Right, exactly. Like there's a fucking In-N-Out, not In-N-Out. There's a Carl's Jr. at UCLA, and I was like, what the fuck? Like I feel so bougie when I go to the Union and I go get like a fucking burrito there. I'm like, I wish this was Chipotle, but like.
Dude, me too. Imagine.
Remember, I think it was I forgot. It might have been like Barstool, Maine, or something like that. And there it was like April Fools, and they're like
Chipotle's
opening. I'm like, fuck, it's April 1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the one in Bangor stays open. Like, dude, sometimes like I drive up, I'm like, I really want Chipotle, and then they're closed, like due to staffing shortage. We're closed.
That happens to all the Chipotles, dude. Everywhere, it's so annoying.
Did you hear about what happened in Augusta?
No.
So what happened is that the workers at the Chipotle in Augusta agreed to unionize, and then Chipotle corporate was like, "Yeah, you guys are unionizing. We're just gonna shut you guys down," which is totally fucked up. But like, it's like. Chipotle tastes good though. Not gonna lie. Chipotle tastes really good. Corporation might be a little fucked up.
Oh,
But,
absolutely.
like
But at the same time, dude, Chipotle is like fresh.
right, like, you
Chipotle is
go there
fresh, and really, I'm kind of sick of it, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, the burritos and everything. But what I love right now, on a kick of chips and queso.
Dude.
That queso is amazing.
Dude, I love queso so much. And what's funny as fuck is that I tell myself every fucking day, like, for these past few months, I'm like, dairy causes acne. I'm like, I need to go dairy free.
Well, that's true.
And
I get wicked bad
dude,
acne.
And then
I actually just got this acne cream.
dude, me too. I got the Tretinoin.
Yeah, I bought them all.
Dude, so I
was sick of showing up to
I
class being
went
like,
right, exactly. I went so my sister, she works at this like plastic surgery place right outside of Denver. And when I was visiting her back early August, it was like actually a few days before school began, she was able to set me up a appointment with this esthetician, and like they were able to set me up with that. And like I'm like, holy fucking thank God, because if you want to go see a dermatologist, you have to like go see your primary care provider, and they have to like refer you to the dermatologist, which is a big pain in the fucking ass because like
huge pain in the ass, yeah.
right, like because you have to like wait for the appointment, and like it's not like acne like is gonna wait for you, and like that's like the biggest thing too, like especially being 21 years old with like still occasional, like I still get like,
yeah. Now that I'm 20 or 21 for the past year, now having acne, that's mad embarrassing.
right.
But I'm Portuguese, dude. My
Really?
skin is super oily.
Dude, me too. Like I got like the curly thick hair.
Yeah,
like
me
I got
too.
the Jufro.
Yeah.
I got like the oily, like I got like a little bit darker skin, like not super dark, but it's like Mediterranean.
Dude, we got the same skin
Dude,
tone.
I
think.
fucking
I think
love
you,
that.
You gotta
Like
oh yeah, dude. Oh,
maybe
yeah,
like
dude.
I haven't been
Mediterranean brothers.
Mediterranean, dude. What generation Portuguese? Like
Actually,
how-
I'm
how
not
far
even
do you-
from the Mediterranean. My family's from the Azores.
really, but like how many generations back?
My grandfather.
Really?
Yeah, or my grandparents.
Did you do like ancestry?
No, I knew them.
No, but like have you ever like done the DNA test and stuff like that?
No,
Like
but my aunt did, and she's like, it's hard. You can't really tell because it was like a slave trade island.
really? So you got like some
do you know what
African in
the
you?
Azores are?
Yeah, I know. It's like off the coast.
In between like
Right, it's near like the
Maine
Canaries
and
yeah.
Portugal. Between there,
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
it's super cool
it's
there.
like Hawaii at the
Don't the hurricanes start there?
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I've never been. I want to go though.
Mhm.
But yeah, so they got a little bit of everything.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
like I'm so interested in like geography and like the
Too. I
different
love,
places in the
like,
world.
maps. Dude, that must be.
Dude, I shit you not, like the entire time I've just been like looking at different places.
I know.
And, like,
literally, I can do the same thing. Dude, I
Like,
could look at places all day.
okay, if you had anywhere in the world that you like, if you just like drop everything and go to right now that you've like never been to before.
Drop everything and go.
Yeah.
Dude, I think if I had to drop everything and go somewhere, the ideal place for me to be, I don't know, because I think like to be around people, not like a city, but someplace kind of like Maine.
But was there like anywhere in particular? It could be in the country, it could be anywhere in the world.
Right. Like I want snow. Like maybe Japan would be sweet. Like
Okay.
or like Sweden. No, Norway is really my favorite country, to be
Okay.
honest. Norway is where I would
So you
want
know
to
where I would go, and I've always had the weirdest fascination about that place.
where?
Istanbul, Turkey.
Istanbul. Yeah, Constantinople.
Istanbul was Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul. Dude, ever since I was like 12 years old, I was interested in like the Roman Empire. And if any of you fucking history buffs out there, in the medieval era, the Roman Empire split to Western Rome and Eastern Rome. And Eastern Rome turned into the Byzantine Empire that was centered around Constantinople, which is present day Istanbul. So if you ever go to Istanbul, there's so much history there because it was conquered by so many different
They
like
still have gold roofs.
right,
and-
like there's this
that's
church.
actually you've been to Istanbul?
No, I've never, but I really want to go.
The guy who I went to Europe with.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if did you have that up north like a
Europe trip?
program?
Yeah,
group trip.
So I didn't go to that.
I actually went with people right across the border.
Really?
in like I think it might have been Edmonton or the one
Uh,
near Calais.
St. Stephen.
Yeah, St. Stephen. But anyways, they said the tour guide said that Istanbul was the coolest place he's ever been
Oh
to.
hell yeah, dude! The Mediterranean fascinates me so much. Like I'm so glad,
Absolutely, yeah.
like when I went like to Israel, when I was in Israel this summer, like I got to experience it a lot,
Mhm.
and like going to like Tel Aviv and going to Jerusalem is the most unique fucking place in the world because there's Christians, Jews, and Muslims there.
Yeah.
And like obviously there's conflict that happens every once in a while, but like just being there, like I went like I'm Jewish, but like I went to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. That's where Jesus was crucified, and that's where they say that he like was resurrected and stuff like that. So like even being there and like seeing the pilgrims, like the Christian pilgrims that like go there and like literally travel there specifically so they could be there, like is so cool to see because like imagine waiting your entire life to go like one specific place and then you're there and you feel like such like a deep connection.
Totally, yeah.
Like it's like and for Jews, like one of that places like the Western Wall, that's where 2000 years ago there used to be a temple in Jerusalem. It was the Holy Temple that the Romans actually destroyed in 70 AD around, I believe. And the only part of the temple that still remains is this wall that was
Holy fuck, it's 12. Yeah,
dude,
anyways,
it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
We're going hard.
Dude, we are going hard.
going
Dude,
hard,
I'm
dude.
so fucking glad we did this podcast.
Dude, hell
bro.
yeah, dude. It was like spontaneous. It was like,
dude, yeah.
I was like just chilling at AGR, walk downstairs. I see Manny. I forgot the names of the like I know Ben.
my band.
Your band, like I know Ben because I have a education and multicultural society night class. You know, night classes are rough, but like me and Ben, dude, we go hard in that class.
Dude,
like we
funny.
participate so hard. Like
That's awesome.
Like, and it's like super participation based. So like for me, like I have no problem like raising my hand and being like, you know,
dude, we would be a ball in class together.
Dude, it's great. And like what sucks about so many like, especially since I'm a sophomore.
Yeah, I embarrass myself in class, honestly.
No, but like
I always regret.
But it's great fucking talking though, because like,
it is,
dude, it's sometimes they say like it's better to say nothing than something at all, but like half of the time people don't participate, and that's what pisses me off because I want to hear other people's opinions. I want to hear other people like open my mind. And that's what's great with you because like you're telling me shit that's like making me think.
Dude, hell yeah, dude. You're the same way, dude.
Dude, hell yeah,
dude. I'm so glad we do this podcast. We got to wrap it up because we got low battery. It looks like so. We got to end it before it's fucking dies.
Yeah.
But dude, say the last words to the folks, dude. I'm so fucking glad you could come on. Man. Like this, I think this is we're gonna be friends for a while.
Oh hell yeah,
so
dude.
We got the
Further
first night being friends. Fucking
yeah.
video.